So this is about Vedic gardening. And so let me just give you an overview of this presentation. So this presentation amalgamates two topics. One of the topics is Vedic plants. So we are looking at all the different scriptures in our own scriptures at different times when they are describing different gods, different deities, when they are talking about Vastu Shastra, when they're talking about Ayurveda, when they are talking about even including when they're talking about yajnas, they mention plants, they mention trees very often, and also talk about what those trees and plants can give us. And so we are going to try and find that connect about those into our homes. And the other one, which I am amalgamating in this topic, is Vastu gardening, Vastu Shastra. So Vastu Shastra, again, is a science. I'm going to give you an understanding of that science and how it suggests the placement of objects, not so much plants, but where can you place the puja room, where can you place the kitchen, how it will bring the harmony and positive energy to the home. There's a lot of discussion on that. So when it comes to that, I would just like to say something. It is my observation, and I think you will also agree to that. So like east and west, we talk about east and west in Vastu. So the east and west is like daily and everyday and short term. Why? Because east, the sun rises on the east, the sun sets on the west. So it's daily, every day it happens. So it connects to our daily day-to-day activity. So whatever we put there is connects to us on a daily basis. And then you have the north and south. Opposite thing happens. North and south is seasonal. North and the north direction and south direction connects to the seasons. So it is long term, where you decide where things are placed in the house in a long term based on north and south. And only things which you can change, even if, for example, if I change bed sheets, if I change curtains, I change cushions, I change certain decorations in the house, it will be based on long term. So north and south connects to long term, east and west connects to daily. So that is, just giving you one trivial message. I don't know, somewhere I'm sure you will also be able to make that connection. So let's look at Vastu wise, how does sunlight come into our house? Because when it comes to gardening to a large extent, sunlight is the most important part of gardening. Because watering, how much we water, what is the heat, what is the thing around doesn't matter. But they make their food out of sunshine. So sunlight is the most important part of it. So east, the most preferred, it's normally the most preferred part of when we are creating Vastu. Everyone says, oh, east is where we have the entrance of our home. So it is like it gets the most gentle sunshine. It gets early morning sunshine, because now we are living in an urban place where there are so many buildings and neighbors, which will neighborhood buildings and neighborhood structures that immediately kind of, what do you say, affect the amount of sunshine that comes into our house. So it gets always, they say, east direction is the most gentle sunshine, which you get for about 3-4 hours. You get good sunshine. After that, it moves away from the east side. The northeast side is also, the lightest sunshine. You do have about 4 to 5 hours, little longer than the eastern side. You get little longer amount of sunshine. It's also connected to water. Why is northeast connected to water? Is there anybody? You can add it to the chat, or you could unmute yourself and say. Anyone can tell me, why do you think northeast is connected to water? Anyone has any comments on why do you think northeast is connected to water? Okay, so I'm not seeing any. So northeast, basically, if you look at the earth tilts at the North Pole. The earth tilts on the North Pole and it tilts like that towards the eastern side. So the earth is actually rotating and revolving around the sun, but the tilt is slightly on the northeast. So what happens is we are 70% water in on our planet and inside our bodies. So the water automatically kind of moves towards the northeast. So which is why northeast is considered the place where there is water. Because water automatically drains to that side. If you imagine, as just look at the earth, and the earth looks tilts a little bit to the northeast. So the water area is always the north, which is like, again, the North Pole is almost completely water. So if you look northeast, so because it's the tilt is on the North Pole and on the eastern side towards the sun. That is why the northeast is considered the place where is considered where water is in the house. Then you have the north. North actually gets about 6 hours of sunshine. But it gets a lot of, you can keep a lot of open spaces there, and garden and seating area. It is a place where you get a nice, comfortable, gentle place to sit in. You don't have too many extremities when it comes in all weathers also. The north side of your house, the north side it's very pleasant compared to the other directions of the house. Then you have northwest. It gets a little harsher sunshine as compared to the other parts. So eastern sunshine is very gentle. Northwestern sunshine gets the same amount, this almost same 3-4 hours of sunshine it gets, but it is quite harsh sunshine. It is a lot of, you need to have tough plants which take a lot of the afternoon sunshine over there. Then sun shines. Now we're looking at the western. Western again, because the sun sets in the west, and when on the western side of the house always gets, so the setting sun is warmer than the rising sun. So that's why it's the warmest space in the house, and you get the evening sunshine, which is also considered a good place for the house entrance. And you need to have a shade over there, because the western side, the southwest monsoon in India especially, the southwest monsoon is quite strong. It's the time, like, it comes during the time of Ashadam. It's the time the northeast monsoon is not so strong. It makes it very pleasant, but the southwest monsoon is the one which floods, and where all the rivers flood up and all the. So if you have a southwest side, you normally need to make sure that it's shaded and protected from flooding. Then southwest is considered the place of strength. It's the heaviest part of the house. So it's the place where there is earth. It's considered the earth element. We will look at it again in the next few slides. And it gets a few hours of harsh sunshine. Now, southwest side, you also realize you can't have too many plants, because you're getting that harsh afternoon sun. When you get this kind of sun, this is that UV rays wala sun. So you cannot put any kind of gentle plants, because it will get burnt out. So that is why you need to anyway put more stronger and bigger and thicker plants there. Now the south gets comparatively the least amount of sunshine, and it's average in all seasons. You get partial sunshine, but when you get the sunshine, it's normally UV rays. Like I said, it's a UV rays. It needs to be protected. So when you have the southern side of the house, it's normally, you need to keep it as a covered area. You could keep your head towards that side. So you need like a headboard. You need something covered when you in the southern side of the house. Now, southeast does get again a lot of morning sunshine, not much rain, and it touches the space. So there's a lot of dependence on the artificial light also, because it gets slight amount of morning sunshine. But if you're keeping a plant there, you need to also put a lot of you need to have artificial light. Maybe if you cannot keep a shaded plant in a southeast area. Now, having said that, we're just going to talk a little bit about the placement of plants, because we've talked about sunshine. So now we're going to talk about the placement of plants. So number one, you will choose the plants based on the availability of sunshine, because even though I spoke about directions, because we are now living in apartment buildings, we are not having so much, we are not in open spaces where we have the luxury of choosing which side, we have areas to plant. So we plant according to the availability of sunshine. Knowledge of Vastu and well-being, again, is very important because, again, as people, we always feel you need to be very aware of the movement of the sun. The sun moves from east to across the northeast to the west. It doesn't go towards doesn't do so much into the southeast. So even though the sun in different seasons go to the southeast and the northeast, but the southeast side, the sun goes around this time till May. So it's very harsh sunshine in the southeast as compared to when the sun is touching the northeast, which is be the January months and all. It will be like very when it goes in the north, it's the sun is very what do you say? It's not so harsh. So you recognizing where the movement of the sun and the rain, again, how strong the rain can be in your area is very important when you're placing plants. And then Vastu, again, differs based on the nature of the resident. Now, there are some of us who like colder parts. If I am a person who reacts well to warmer things, then it will be, for me, I need a certain kind of how home and structure of the home affects me better. Like I'm a person who's connected to the earth. So for me, a southern direction, a western direction will connect better. Whereas if there's a person who loves travel, who just can't sit at home, maybe an eastern direction or a kind of a bedroom or a space where they are sitting in the northeastern direction would be more effective to them because they are not people who enjoy sitting at home. So based on the person who's living there, also, if you kind of put a person who loves to travel in in a particular space in your home, in a covered space where there's not so much sunshine, they will get very shaken up. They will not want to stay there because they don't want to be in a dark space. They want to be in a place where there is more spaces and they want to be able to travel. They need to step out often. So the Vastu cannot be the same it's not one size fits all. It connects to who is living there and how they are living there. Now, going back to gardening, I'm looking at plants in the eastern side. So most often in India, we prefer entrance of the house to be on the eastern side. So starting with our most holy plant, which is the Tulsi plant. Tulsi and all basil plants to a large extent.
Yeah. On the outside switch, fridge off.
Sorry. Yeah, so the Tulsi plant and most of the basil varieties across the planet, not only in India, a lot, in whether it's Italian basil or Thai basil, some kind of it is part of the cuisine, part of the way we kind of ingest it or we do puja to it, or it is considered holy and mainly because it's connected to health, which is the reason why we keep it on the eastern side. It's gentle. It's like a mother. It takes care of the home and helps us, it's a low maintenance plant, but again, it's nice to have at the entrance of the house. Now, the entrance of the house cannot have a shaded area, mainly because you want the entrance of the house to be lighted up at all times. So, which is the reason why large trees are not considered very good in the entrance area. So we have smaller trees. Again, if you look at whether it is in India or to a large extent in even the Mediterranean, pomegranate is considered it signifies fertility. So it's connected to fertility. Here, chiku or sitafal, again, all these plants, they are very nice, low maintenance plants. They won't give huge shaded spaces. At the same time, it will attract the nice insects, which like these particular plants. They are not prone to, at the entrance of the house, you do not want, any kind of wasps or any kinds of insects and birds which can trouble you in any way. So you want a particular kind of birds to come, which, and again, these among, if you look at Sitafal, Chiku or pomegranate, you don't get too many birds there. They don't come to eat these particular, um, these kinds of plants. Now, the jade is again considered in eastern areas. This has got a little bit of water in it, but the jade plant is considered a very auspicious plant to have, and it attracts money into the house. So then again, red color. Red color is the color of Ganapati, and so we have these plants, the hibiscus, the marigold, and the cosmos plants. Again, very low maintenance plants, don't need too much sunshine. Morning sunshine, they're very happy with. Early morning, gentle sunshine. And again, you know, having them in the entrance of the house is, they are not plants which will become too dense and will not cover the entrance, which is why always the eastern side should not be too, you don't want something that will overtake the house or become, you know, give you too much shade in the entrance area. Similarly, with the bigger trees, you have like the amalthas. Now, presently, if you see all those lovely yellow showers, this is the season of amalthas. They look very nice, and you have these beautiful, the birds which sit on the amalthus tree or the kanchar trees. Kanchar is again, you know, that it grows very well in Telangana. It's called the orchid of Telangana. So the kanchar trees and the ketaki again, they are not very big, very shaded trees. At the same time, in different seasons, there will be color. So when the amalthas get over, it will be the ketaki season, and then after that, it will be the kanchar season. So one of these will always be blooming and giving you color outside your house. At the same time, it's not going to cover it and make it very shady. Then you have creepers. So you have Madhumalati, which is a very beautiful Rangoon creeper. It's called the Rangoon creeper. Or you have the purple colors, considered very auspicious color to have at the entrance of the house. So Saurpunika, you have the Ganesh flower, which is those small star-shaped red color flowers. The sandpaper vine, which is now, got very popular. Or the Aparajita, we say, no, these are all health related. Like how Tulsi is health related, the butterfly pea plant, which is the Aparajita, is considered is very good for your heart. Similarly, same with hibiscus. Hibiscus itself is very, very, the hibiscus flower, flower tea, the Aparajita flower tea, all these are very good for the heart. And the purple color is considered an auspicious color to keep in the entrance of the house. So you have the purple flowers, which are like kanchari, or you can have bougainvillea. You can have the wandering Jew. Again, is for Indian conditions, the wandering Jew works very well. It just place it there and it will grow it will take the heat, it will take the rain, and it will survive very easily. Then you have placement of plants in the northeast. Now, we said, no, northeast is the region where automatically the earth tilts towards the northeast. So that is a place of water. It's the place of the region of water. So you can have water lilies. Now, if you have a big space like I have in my mother's house right now, you can have the water lilies as a tank on the ground, which can be a space inside the ground where you can have like a small pond or something which are placed in the ground level. So if you are keeping water lilies any other place other than northeast in the house, it's preferable to keep it in a pot. Like you can keep it in a pot or a tank. Then you can move it to other areas in the house. You can put it on the eastern side. You can place it in western side if you have it as a pot. But if you are placing the pond inside the ground, because water kind of, having a water logging in a particular place, the best place for water to stand will be in the northeastern side. Bananas and coconut trees. Again, they are not heavy trees because you don't want anything heavy in the place of northeast. You don't want something which is going to weigh you down. You want northeast is the place for movement. Water is a moving place. So you want movement there. So banana and coconut tree, again, banana and coconut tree to a large extent is, or for that matter, I have added the colocasia or Arabi plants. Also, I have added there. Why? Because where you have water in the olden days, the northeast used to be the place where the well is, where they would put the house well. And a banana plant or the coconut plant or coconut tree or the RB tree, RB plants, these are plants that are amazing at recycling gray water. That is the need of the hour today. We are looking at water harvesting and things like that. If vessels are washed with ash, if you're washing earlier, they used to wash it with basma, with ash. When the ash which is we used to cook in firewood and use that ash to clean the vessels. So that, or even today, present detergents which we are using, even those detergents if you use and that water is poured to the banana plant or to the RB plants, if you have any of them nearby, they actually survive and they recycle gray water very well. They are things which need a lot of water, and they do, and normally they were kept where where you wash your clothes. Water from the washed clothes or water from washed vessels used to go there, including today if you have RO water also. Most of plants can't take it, but the RB plant can take it. So you can have decorative colocasia also, plants which will take that kind of water. They are very good at maintaining that water. The other plants which are good for that area are succulents. I know succulents are considered not good for Vastu, but they are actually, they are plants filled with water. So the mother-in-law, the snake plant, your aloe vera, all these are water-filled plants and they have their own medicinal value. They also have, aloe vera has, the snake plant is an air purifier, and so it's a but at the same time it's a very light plant. These are plants which don't have too much weight in them, so they are plants which can be placed in the northeastern side. The other plants which are considered good for northeast is, if you have a creeper of pan, you can put it there. You can put pepper. Pepper can be grown around the coconut tree, lauki, or you have small flowering plants like, again, your balsam, salvia, begonia. Now, if you ask why salvia or balsam, these, the Bernal, like, or sablon. Sablon comes from salvia plants. The salvia plant, which you can see here in the northeast. It's actually the basis of. So northeast is also the place where a lot, in case you don't have any other, it would be a place where the children's bedrooms will be. So again, for them, if they get hurt, putting an aloe vera gel, putting salvia, you can just put salvia flowers. So for all the cuts and bumps and all, it will be very useful. So that's another thought process on why we could have these flowering plants on the northeast side. Again, they're very light plants. They are plants which, like the begonias, again, have they cannot handle too much sunshine, and at the same time their leaves have a little bit of water in them. Southeast, now this is the place where you get a lot of sunshine, sharp sunshine in the afternoon, little bit of sunshine in the morning. This is the place where the kitchen is. Now, why do you think, like how you had northeast? So if you think of the earth, what is there in the southeast of the earth? The southeast of the earth has the ring of fire. Indonesia, Hawaii. If you see, even in the middle of the ocean, there is a volcano there. Because that's the place where there's a ring of fire. So even if you look at the earth, northeast is where you have Alaska, you have the North Pole, it's all water filled. The southeast is where, even if there is water, even if the Pacific Ocean is there, it is filled inside the Pacific Ocean, all the volcanoes. It's called the ring of fire. So that is a place where the most sharpest sunshine falls. It's the place where you need to keep that place very warm in the house. So it's one of the few places where you can have slightly pokey plants. Again, thorns, cacti are not considered very Vastu friendly, especially if we are living in an apartment building. If you're living in an apartment on top, we don't have too many. Keeping thorny things inside the house is considered not good Vastu wise. But this is if you have a place where you want to grow thorny plants, this is a very nice place to grow it, because it anyway it shows heat. Rose is a plant that shows heat to a certain extent. The other ones would be Krishna Kamal, your flaming trumpet, alamander. So if you look at them, all red color. The colors also are red, yellow. Um, this is that Pandava. This is called the Krishna Kamal, the Pandava flower or the passion fruit plant. So it's got that heating thing in it. It works well in heat. Ixora plants, Parijatam. Again, Parijatam, if you look at the in Vedic method, it is considered heat producing. Also, if you look at the Harshringar, the leaves itself, you can boil it and it is good for your bones. It will give you that heat in your bones for your for arthritis and stuff. So that's why the Parijatam plant can be kept very close to the kitchen. Then you have curry leaves, again, estrogen, because it gives you estrogen. It's closer to the kitchen. It's good for keeping on the southeast direction. Now the west. West is a place where the sun sets. We keep heavy clutter feel strong. Sun, good space to have. Dining room, office, because the setting sun, you can look at the setting sun and you put on the AC or heavy clutter-free plants. So this is a place where you want air to come in to the house. So good air comes from mango trees. We also know when we put, I think there's a very popular WhatsApp forward which talked about how mango leaves will continue to give that oxygen days after they are plucked and placed on as a toranam. So same way, so whether it's a mango or it is neem, to a large extent, they provide that air, the good air inside the house. So you keep it on the western side. Since our winds blow for most of the year, our winds blow into the house through the western side, which is why western direction is very important for the house. It's another popular place for the entrance of the house because a lot of breeze blows into the house from the western side for like our monsoon winds, and almost like out of 12 months, around 9 months, we have western wind in India. So if you have all these nice medicinal trees over here, they are very good to have a neem tree, to have a fig tree. Decorative figs nowadays, decorative figs plants are very popular as well. Otherwise, you can have areca palms or bamboo or Dieffenbachia. All these are again plants which remove dust. Monstera, again, if you see, they are plants which which have a lot of holes in them. Monstera plants and caladiums. The other one is, of course, if you have a lemon plant, which will give you that nice smell, the citrus plant when it enters the house, it's good. The other one which I was talking about is this Nandiar Bette. It's considered very good to have in the western side because it takes it likes that harsh sunshine in the night, in the evening. So if it gives you this harsh sunshine in the evening, makes the buds go up. So that's why jasmine varieties, again, if they like the heat, and they all bloom when there is heat. So the more for a jasmine plant, if you keep it on the western side of your house, it will bloom. You'll get a lot of blossoms. It's especially in this season, summer season, when you have jasmine, they all will bloom in the evening. Then you have the pudina, dodapatra, if you have, again, because it is closer to the certain aromatic herbs can be kept because it's closer to the dining room. It's closer to the place where you can sit down and eat, or if you're sitting, it's an office room. These kinds of plants will give you good aroma. Northwest. Northwest is a place, again, you keep it clutter-free to a large extent, very less sunshine, very warm afternoons. So you don't keep any big kind of plants and trees here. So mostly this is again a place where you encouragement of babies. If you look at northwest direction, even otherwise in Vastu wise, it is a place where of air. Air is stronger there. So the northwest winds are very strong. If you look at most places in the planet, like in India also, northwest is where you have Rajasthan, which is our desert. If you look at the continent of Africa, northwest of Africa is where the strongest desert areas. Northwest of Australia, again, you'll have the huge desert, the Australian desert. So a lot of the northwest direction is where, not much will grow, mainly because the wind power is so strong there. So it doesn't grow. But that kind of air and breeze is very good for small babies, because not much sun happens. So we use that area to, you cover it up. In a closed area there, you can have plant saplings, germination, pollination tubs, the your regrowth, any cuttings that you have kept for regrowth, green herbs, small vegetables can be grown there. So also the place, again, like we said, it's for small children. For if you have a children's bedroom, it will be placed there. So similarly, you need to look at their bone health. For their bone health, coconut again is considered a place which is filled with air. If you take a coconut and throw it in the water, it will float for that reason, because it's got a lot of fiber and a lot of air inside it. Similarly with the badam tree, similarly with the parijatam flower, like you said, it's connected to bones. The parijatam flower is connected to bones. All parts, in fact, can be made into a tea and connects with your bones. And bones, again, is connected to the air quality. Creepers also, all the flowers which you have in the creepers, like the vanilla pods, the bleeding heart flower, again, holds air in it. The wood rose flower, if you look at it, inside it has those seeds, but it has air inside it. So because this place is the place where there is a lot of air, when you have these monstera kind of, the ones which have those cuts and those cheesy things where they have these holes, where there's a lot of movement of air, because northwest is the area of air, you have plants which need a lot of air, which allow a lot of airflow, which is used over there. In the southwest, now here is where we would keep the master bedroom or the puja. It has very less sunshine, very less, only few hours of sunshine in the afternoon, but enough to really warm up the place, because it will be a very warm part of the house, but it is a part of the house which gives you the least amount of like sunshine. So it's a place where you don't spend too much time. It's only a place where you will go in the evening to rest. It's a place where you rest, the master bedroom where you rest, or a place where you meditate in front of God, where you want to sit down in a quiet space. The light of the God is all that is going to give you that meditative power. So if you have a meditation space, if you have your puja, or you have the master bedroom, you place it in this area. If you look at southwest, also is where you find a lot of big thick forests. So it's a place where if you look in Vastu wise, it is the place where the element of the southwest is earth. So earth connects to a lot of good smells to a large extent. So you have trees which are, because while you are sleeping, you want that nice pleasant smell in your bedroom. It's a place where you are going to be lying down and sleeping. So the idea of when you pick up plants for the southwest region or for the outside the bedroom, the requirement is the good smell. Now, the first two trees I picked up was Ashoka and Bakul. Both these trees are known for, the trees are known for taking off pollution. They are also, like how they say, Ashoka removes your sadness. It's the meaning of Ashoka itself is removing of sadness. So Sita Ashoka means removing the sadness of the earth. That's the name of the tree itself. So that mild, very mild smell that tree has is extremely good for upliftment of your spirits. Now you have the bakul tree, or you call it bullet wood tree, or the Sudarshana flower tree. It has small tiny flowers. Both of them help in removal of heat. So it removes the heat from that particular, because this part is a very heated part. If you're sitting under it, it will give you a little bit of coolness. It will maintain the temperatures of that particular place. In fact, the Sudarshana, the bakul tree flowers used to be used to make into garlands and place it for the god. Now, not only for God, even when earlier days when people would go, it grow, it flowers a lot in the winter time. That is the time when people would go on these Tirth Yatras and all. they would put the bakul flowers on their hair. In fact, in Odia, all these Odissi dancers also used to place it in their hair. Now, why they would put it in the hair is if you're traveling, because of traveling, when you have body pain, when you're having, a fever because of fatigue, the bakul flower, if you drink the bakul flower tea, or if the bark, if you can boil it and drink, it brings down that heat because of fatigue, because of fever, because of fatigue, it brings down. So that's why the bakul tree is considered a good Vedic tree to have on the southwest direction of your house, because it maintains the heat of, because if you get too hot, it's not good for the people who are living inside the house. If you become too cold also, it's not good for the people living inside the house. So it gives you that good, it maintains the temperature of the house. Then you have Firangipani, oleander, and Chandani. Firangipani is also the plumeria or temple trees. Now the temple tree, why I chose these three, all three are milk trees. They produce the milk. Now, when you have milk trees, the milk trees to a large extent, if you notice, they are not they are poisonous, and you keep them, if you keep, they are not just, they collect a lot of dust. They don't allow dust to enter the bedroom, because you don't want much dust. And another important part of this type of trees, like the ganeru or the oleander or the Firangipani plumeria, these particular milk trees, or chandani for that matter, all these plants are considered holy, because they actually absorb sound. So which is also the reason why you will find the oleander plants put in park areas, placed outside office areas, placed on in the middle of the highway also they place them, because they thrive with the amount of sound. Why next to a bedroom? Why next to a master bedroom? Because again, you don't want the outside sound entering the master bedroom. You don't want the master bedroom, whatever sound is there inside, to go outside. So this particular tree just maintains that, make sure that it's a sound magnet. It absorbs sound. So that's why it keeps the place very calm and quiet, and gives that quietness which is required for a master bedroom or a puja. And of course, we put these flowers. In fact, the Firangipani flower or the oleander flower is considered very holy to put. It's such a poisonous flower, but it's very holy to keep near the god, because we say when we place them near the god and say our prayers, because it absorbs the sound, it keeps the prayer in that area. It keeps the prayer which we have, the prayers that we have for our gods, it keeps it in the area. The other plants, I chose the Ratkirani, Brahma Kamal or Ketaki plants, which to be again put next to the bedroom, because again in the night, the smell in the night will, it connects to the earth. Southwest is the area of earth, and because you are sleeping, and so in the night time, these plants give out a very sweet and nice, pleasant smell for you when you are sleeping in that area. So that's why the Ketki plant or the Ratkirani plant or jasmine or vanilla, all of these are night blooming plants. They bloom in the evening and the night. That's the time you're going to be spending in the master bedroom or the puja area. It's not a place that you will go to all through the day. It's a place where you will go only in the night to spend. So having that pleasant smell inside, maintaining the sound, if you have any mantras, if you're saying anything, maintaining that sound inside the house, it doesn't go outside, and maintaining the temperature. These are the three things which are needed for the master bedroom of the house. Now, I just like to conclude a little bit. So in conclusion, I would like to say, number one is awareness and accountability. In the whole presentation, the whole idea is that the reason why I make these presentations also is for people to become aware of the nature around them. You become aware about how the directions connect to you inside, and how each direction in the house, how the different vibrations it brings with it, how the wind blows, how the temperature of the house is maintained, or how the smells of the house are maintained. Each of those, just being aware of that helps us live better lives, help us live more closer to nature. Like we said, no, why Northeast? Everyone, I I feel very bad when people say no, Vastu is some nonsense science. It's not. Even the earth is made in a particular manner, and when you are aware of how the earth is made and how you connect to it, that then automatically you can match the way you place your things inside your house so that it connects in that particular way. Same thing with vibrations. So based on those, you get the vibrations. Is the smell going to affect? When you choose a plant, you just don't choose a plant just like that. You look at the plant, smell of that plant, you look at the color of the plant. All of that affects, because it's a living being. Number one is that it's not a decoration. It is breathing out air which you are going to be breathing in. You are breathing that air which it is breathing out. So imagine at that very basic level, you are connected to the other living being in the house. So many times we say, when you are sick, the plant dies, which is inside your house, because it is taking your vibration on or upon itself. They are more subtle and more intelligent and stronger beings than we are also. So they connect to the vibrations which we give. When we pour water to them based on our vibrations, it affects them almost like it affects our own children. So, and opposite, they are huge givers. Through the smells that they emanate, it connects to us inside. And the third one is sustenance. Like I said, if you keep a plant which is a sun-loving plant, like I'll give you a simple example for myself. I have a lot of water lilies which are in tanks. And now my house, almost the entire house, open space of my house, which is completely anti-Vastu, is got a huge open space on the southern side of the house. The south side of my house is where the main garden is. So much of if I want to keep water lilies there, those water lilies get some amount of sunshine. But you know that the water lilies and the fish inside, I don't want the UV rays to connect to them. But that is the only time when the sun comes there. So constantly, the necessity is that I have to make keep them in such a way that somewhere the building's shadow falls on it in the evening. Even if the sunshine falls, a building shadow or some tree shadow falls on it. I have to protect it in that way so that those fishes, those plants, they flower at the same time. I am going against Vastu, keeping them in that direction. So when you are looking at a plant, you have to think of them in those ways. Not you have Vastu on one side, you have availability on another side. Not all of us are living in 100% Vastu compliant homes or conditions. So based on, look at when someone says, no, you don't put a water lily on the ground on a southern side or a western or a southwest side. Think about it. You can't put it inside the ground, but you can if you keep it above the ground, make sure, again, it cannot attract too much of UV rays. So you need to make sure that it is in a shaded area if it is kept over there. But in a shaded area, again, water lily will not bloom so easily. So you need to give it at least some amount of morning sun. So those ways I was just looking at. Make sure you have all the connections in place to be able to plan a Vastu or a Vedic garden. Thank you. That's it from me. I thank you for listening to me so much for the last 45 minutes while I rattled off so much of information. And yeah, I would be happy to answer any queries that you have regarding this.